All right. We're going to go pretty quick today. So, today, guys, we are going to be talking about a phrase that I hear just so much lately and that honestly drives me fucking nuts. But we're going to be talking about the phrase, I'll get back to you. Now, before we get into the show, as always, you know what we're doing here. If you've tuned into the show before, we're here to help athletes reach higher level versions of themselves. We're here to help athletes level up in every area of their life to create the dream career they're looking for in their sport. And if you have tuned into the show before, make sure you know the value we're going to deliver. Make sure that you share the live stream out with a teammate, with a coach, with a friend, with somebody who is going to benefit from hearing this message. And today we're going to be talking about the phrase, I'll get back to you. Now, you know what? We're going to get right into the show because this one's been sitting on my mind for a little bit and I am stoked to be getting into it. So we're going to get into the show here in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Elite Development Podcast, the number one show for athletes looking to gain an edge on their opponents and build their dream careers in sport. I'm your host, Kenny Dusseault, and today we are going to be talking about the phrase, I'll get back to you. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this to you guys today is because this is something that I hear all the time talking to athletes. I speak to athletes every single day, athletes that are along some sort of journey towards high levels in their sport. And this is something I hear from them all the time. I'll have an athlete reach out and ask me for help. What is an exercise I can do to help with this? What changes can I make to my training to help with this problem? Oh, I'm doing super well in my sport, but I just struggle with this. What can I do to fix that problem? A variety of, hey, I'm having this issue within my sport. I need to fix it if I'm going to succeed. What can you tell me in order to fix that problem and help me succeed? So we'll get to talking because, again, if you know anything about strength and conditioning, you know that I need more information than help me fix this problem. I need more information to actually be able to give a decent answer. And if you know any coaches out there that answer a specific question and say, this is the ultimate way to fix any one problem, they're full of shit. And so we'll get to talking. I'll be asking some questions to, get the information that I need. And then I'll tell them, my thoughts on where they are. I'll tell them my thoughts on, a few things that they could try to start fixing the issues that they have. And they'll tell me things like, yeah, this all makes a lot of sense to me. I really get what you're saying. Wow, I can really see where I've been going wrong. I see the changes that I need to start making to what I'm doing now to help me get to the next level. This is really going to help me out a lot. Thank you so much. And wow, I've never thought about training that way. And, so they're getting a lot of value just from a simple conversation. Now, to get them to the next level, and, for all of you out there, to get yourselves to the next level, one thing I want to make very clear is there's no one exercise that's going to fix you. There's no one exercise that you're going to do that is magically going to make you an incredible athlete if you're an average one right now. It's going to be consistent hard work and training and developing that training program over years and years and years to continue to make progress through the long term that is going to allow you to reach these goals. So that's what I always talk athletes through when we have that discussion. I talk them through, the changes that we can help them make through actual programming and actually working together to reach that ultimate level instead of just one or two quick fix exercises that might help them out, but aren't going to be the ultimate answer for them. And, they tell me about the goals they have for their career. They want to win world championships. They want to make millions of dollars. They want to change the financial future of their family. And they talk about, the reasons behind that, how this is the most important thing to them because they want to show their future children that you can be anything you put your mind to and you don't have to be stuck in a meaningless 9-to-5 and you can live the life of your dreams. All of these very deep things that they're sharing with me. And then when I explain how, the coaching programs work, I explain how we can help them specifically make the changes they need to make to achieve the goals that they want to achieve. I so often I get the response, I'll get back to you. Now, let me get this straight. You have these huge goals for your career. This goal means everything to you. It's 10 out of 10. The most important thing that you get to this goal, that you achieve this goal. You believe that what we do will benefit you and will help you make the changes you need to make in order to achieve that goal. You've asked me for help and already benefited from what I've told you for free, but you still don't want to invest. Let that sink in. If you can get value from someone in a free conversation, they can tell you something for free in 10 minutes on Instagram that is going to actually help you improve. How much do you think you're going to get if you actually invest in that program? What kind of changes do you think you're going to be able to make if you actually invest in that program? If you actually put your fucking money where your mouth is and you actually said, you know what? If this goal truly means everything, it's time to start fucking acting like it. How much value do you think you're going to be able to get? And the thing is, as I'm coming at you a little bit, I want to relate as well, because this used to be me. I used to be the person that was always looking for the, free quick fix and never wanted to put my money where my mouth was, never wanted to, truly make the investment or truly take that step. And that was, as I was growing my business, I was struggling a lot. I was getting by, but I wasn't doing well. I was working 7 days a week and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted to get. And I remember coming across a business coach on TikTok and, scrolled through a couple of videos, got some good value, gave some good tips on, business growth and all of that. And then I sent him a DM just to say, thanks, I appreciate the value you're putting out, with no intention of actually starting up with this program because, money's tight, all these other excuses you guys keep telling yourselves too. And through a quick conversation with him, I ended up putting down 3/4 of my savings account into this program because he'd shown me the value that he could deliver with his program. He'd shown me the value that he could deliver and the results he would be able to get me, and was convincing enough that I put my money where my mouth was. I said, you know what? If it's truly my goal to create financial freedom for myself, truly my goal to level up the impact that I'm creating online, reach a higher network of athletes, help more and more people achieve their goals like I've been saying for so long I want to, then this is worth a shot. Let's see what this can do for me. So I put down 3/4 of my savings account. Usually I like to have 4 months of all my expenses put away so that, if something was to go wrong, I have a little bit of a network, I have a little bit of a nest egg to fall on. And after investing in this program, I had none. I did not have 1 full month of expenses put away to fall back on if things didn't work. So if this program didn't work and, stuff started to go wrong, I was literally fucked. And I put the skin in the game, and within a month, I had made my entire investment back. And then within 3 months, I had doubled the size of my business. And then in 3 more, I had tripled the size of my business. This was all work that I had been working on doing for the previous 3 years. And in 6 months, working with this program, all of the answers came through, and I had completely transformed the trajectory of my business and in turn, my future. And I share this with you guys because not only did it help me start leveling up as a business owner, it started helping me level up as a person. And why? Because I looked at myself, I said, you just dropped pretty much all the money you have in the world on this. And if it doesn't work, you're fucked. So you better show the fuck up. You better ask questions. You better do the work to make sure this comes through. So I started showing up for myself more, started making excuses less. I started studying each and every area that I needed to in order to be successful. I started better understanding the work I was doing and how to manipulate it to create better results. I started leveling up in every other area of my life. And the reason I share this, guys, is because, yeah, I understand that you're sitting here listening to this saying, money's tight right now, or time is tight right now, or yeah, I'm working on figuring out strength and conditioning for myself. Whatever reason you want to tell yourself as a reason not to move forward, as a reason not to invest in yourself, as a reason that, this isn't the right time or whatever it is, might be true. Money might be tight. You might struggle to make an investment in yourself right now. Time might be tight. You might be training a lot already and think, how am I going to add strength and conditioning on top of that? Whatever else it might be, might be tight. But your dream isn't going to wait for you. Your dream isn't going to wait for you. The UFC isn't going to say, well, we'll just hold off and wait for you because, money's tight right now, so he can't invest in the coaches he needs. Your future opponents aren't going to wait for you. They're not going to say, yeah, well, I'll take it easy on him because, money was tight in this camp, so he couldn't do his strength and conditioning with a real coach. Hard work alone is not what is going to get you to the top. I hate to be the one to break that news to you, but hard work alone is not going to be the thing that gets you to the top. It's just not. Hard work is a huge part of that process. Don't get me wrong. But going back to my story with the business coach, I had owned my own business for 3 years before starting up with this program. And I was getting by, I was surviving, but I was not thriving. Things were going okay. I was making it through month to month. I was pinching my pennies to make sure that I could pay my rent and do everything that I needed to do. But within 3 months, I doubled the size of my business. So the results I was working on getting for the last 3 years, I got in 3 months because I had the guidance. And then in 6 months, I doubled it again. So in 6 months, I got more results than I could possibly have imagined in 3 years. And the reason is because I put skin in the fucking game. The reason is because I started taking my shit seriously, and I started realizing that if I want to actually have a shot at achieving the goals that I've set out for myself in my career, I need fucking help. And you do too, guys. And that comes back to this statement that I hear so often that just drives me nuts. I'll get back to you. What is the fucking holdup? You're telling me that this is the most important thing to you in the world. You're telling me that you want to be a world champion. You want to change the financial future of your family. You want to achieve something in this sport because you've dedicated your life to it. You want to make millions of dollars. You want to never get stuck at a 9 to 5. But I'll get back to you. It's not the right time right now. Oh, maybe down the road, maybe in 6 months. Why? Is money actually tight right now, or are you fucking scared of putting the time in, putting the work in, having the right guidance, and the monster you're going to be able to become when you have that all in place? Because there's always going to be a reason not to invest. There's always going to be a reason to keep thinking about it. There's always going to be a reason that it's not the right time right now to go all in on yourself. But the problem is, like I've said before in this podcast already, hard work alone isn't going to get you to the top. You can train every single day and still not make it because you might be taking that time doing the wrong shit. You might be reading the wrong shit online. You might be doing the wrong shit based off of bad advice from a friend or a teammate that meant well but didn't really know what they were talking about. So instead of continuing to do your own thing, instead of continuing to try to figure it out, instead of continuing along this path that you're dealing with this same struggle with your conditioning or your strength or old injuries, month after month, year after year, and not making the progress that you know you need, let this be your wake-up call. Let this be your wake-up call that this is not a journey you're going to make on your own. This is not something you're going to magically figure out. Nobody's going to give you one magic exercise that makes your conditioning struggles go away or makes that shoulder injury stop flaring up. There isn't one. The answer is learning how to be smarter with the work you're doing. The answer is not just training hard, but training smart too. And if you don't know how to do that, how do you think you build that system? How do you think you improve that? You hire a fucking coach. You hire a fucking coach so you can accelerate the results that you're looking for, and you can find those results now, which will allow you to improve more and more and more in your sport over the years. Because if what you were doing was going to work, it would have fucking worked already. You wouldn't be in my DMs asking me questions about how to improve this or how to change that or what exercise you need to add in because of this or that. It would have worked already. That means you need a change. If you're in there asking questions, if you're in there you know, trying to figure out why you're having these issues. What that tells me is those issues aren't going away. And if those issues aren't going away, you don't need one magical exercise. You need guidance to help you understand how to fix the problem long term. So I hope this was valuable to you. Actually, before we wrap up, I want to touch on the fact that if you're listening to this and it is sounding like I'm not welcoming to DMs and questions, I absolutely am. If you are curious about something when it comes to strength and conditioning, I'm always open to having those conversations. I'm always open to answering those questions. But my main point here and what I really want to get across is that the answer that I get from those questions from, athletes that are looking to reach new levels in their sport, when they tell me, they're so committed and they want this more than anything and all of that. Oh, but I'll get back to you. Now's not really a good time to, start coaching and actually going all in on that. That's the part that drives me nuts because I'm here to help. My goal, like I say at the start of this podcast, is to help athletes achieve their dream careers in sport. And part of that is answering those kind of questions. But the thing is, guys, is that if you're in there asking those kind of questions and I'm in there answering those kind of questions for you, my only ask of you is that you're ready to put the work in that's actually going to make a difference. Because if you're just looking for free advice, if you're just looking for, that magic fix, Google is a great resource. But also, if you're just looking for that magic fix, understand it doesn't exist. The fix comes from long-term dedication. The fix comes from understanding a system that is going to work to improve your longevity and improve your performance in the sport. And that's not something that we can put into a DM. That's not something that I can just put together for you. That comes from working together. That comes from communication. That comes from trying out programs and then building off of those programs to get better and better results over longer periods of time. So stop looking for the quick fix. Stop asking questions when you have no intention of making changes, and let this be the wake-up call that it's time to go all in. It's time to invest in yourself, and it's time to actually take yourself seriously when you say you want to reach the next level. So that is it for me. That is all. I appreciate all of you who tuned in, both live and on the replay. If you have tuned into the show and you've gotten some value from this episode, my one ask of you is that you share it with a friend, share it with a teammate, share it with a coach, share it with someone who's going to need to hear this message. As always, I'm your host, Kenny Dusseault. And as always, I'm your host, Kenny Dusseault. I hope you got an immense amount of value from this episode, and I'm looking forward to bringing you more tomorrow.